28 mistakes that are silently killing your indoor cat. I examined 50 healthy indoor cats last week. 47 of them were silently suffering, and their owners had no idea. Dehydration, kidney damage, dental pain, all of it preventable. Most people assume a cat who eats, sleeps, and seems fine is a healthy cat. But after 15 years treating cats, here's what I've learned. They hide pain better than almost any animal alive, and most owners are unknowingly making at least 15 of the 28 mistakes we're about to cover. Mistake number 7 alone could steal 5 years off your cat's life. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to fix this, starting today. Let's get into it. Mistake 1. The litter box crime. Most owners assume 1 litter box per cat is plenty. It's not even close. The real rule is number of cats plus 1, meaning even a single cat needs 2 boxes. Cats instinctively avoid urinating where they've defecated, and 1 box forces an impossible choice. Picture your only bathroom never flushing. That's your cat's daily reality. So they hold it in, risking UTIs and kidney problems, or they go elsewhere, your bed, your carpet, and get blamed for it. They're not spiteful, they're desperate. Fix: place boxes in separate, quiet rooms, away from food. Your cat will visibly relax. Mistake 2. The water bowl disaster. Most people put the water bowl right next to the food bowl. Seems logical. It's actually working against 10,000 years of instinct. In the wild, water near a food source often means contamination from rotting prey. Your cat's brain still treats that combination as a warning sign, which is exactly why they'd rather drink from the sink, the toilet, or your glass. They're not being weird, they're avoiding what feels like a trap. Fix: move water at least 3 to 6 feet from food, add multiple stations, and consider a fountain. Cats trust moving water instinctively. Dehydration drives kidney disease, the #1 killer of indoor cats, so this small change carries real weight. Mistake 3. The boredom epidemic. 16 to 20 hours of sleep looks normal. It's often a symptom of severe under-stimulation. Wild cats spend 6 to 8 hours a day hunting, patrolling, and exploring. Indoor cats often get 0. That mismatch doesn't disappear. It turns into over-grooming, aggression, or stress illness. Your cat isn't lazy. They've quietly given up trying to engage with a world that gives them nothing to do. Fix: puzzle feeders, scheduled hunt-style play twice daily, rotating toys, window perches. 15 minutes twice a day isn't optional. It's baseline mental health care. Mistake 4. The silent killer in your home. Those essential oil diffusers making your home smell wonderful? For your cat, they're a slow-moving toxin. Cats lack the liver enzyme needed to safely process phenols found in oils like lavender, eucalyptus, tea tree, and peppermint. Every breath, every grooming session after oil lands on their fur adds up. That occasional vomiting or lethargy you brushed off as nothing, it might be poisoning, not a hairball. Fix: remove diffusers, scented candles, and plug-ins entirely. Even pet-safe claims don't fully apply to cats. When in doubt, don't use it around them. Mid-roll CTA. If this is already making you want to walk through your house and check things, that's exactly the point. Hit like and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more cat owners who actually want to understand their cat's needs. Mistake 5. Not spaying or neutering. "My indoor cat doesn't need to be fixed" is one of the most common and costly assumptions out there. Unfixed females cycle every 2 to 3 weeks, experiencing real distress with no outlet. Unfixed males flood with hormones that drive aggression, territorial marking, and constant stress. The medical stakes are severe. Unfixed females face up to 90% chance of mammary tumors over their lifetime, and pyometra, a life-threatening infection, affects roughly a quarter of them. Males face real cancer risk too. Fix, spaying or neutering isn't just population control. It routinely adds years to your cat's life and removes daily suffering you may not even see. Mistake 6. The vertical space tragedy. Look around the room. If your cat's entire territory is the floor, you're working against their biology. Wild cats spend roughly half their time elevated. Height is safety, escape routes, and a vantage point to survey their world. A flat, ground-level home removes all of that. Without vertical space, cats can't retreat when startled, and chronic stress builds quietly over time. Fix, cat trees, wall shelves, cleared bookshelf space. Studies on environmental enrichment suggest vertical territory measurably lowers stress hormones. Your anxious cat may simply be a climber with nowhere to climb. Mistake, the vertical space tragedy. A small, deep food bowl looks perfectly normal. For your cat, it can mean real, repeated discomfort. Whiskers are sensitive sensory organs wired to nerve endings. When they repeatedly brush both sides of a deep bowl, it can cause genuine sensory overload, closer to irritation than pickiness. If your cat paws food onto the floor, eats only from the center, or walks away from a full bowl, that's not a behavior problem, that's pain avoidance. Fix, switch to flat plates or wide, shallow bowls. Many picky eaters suddenly clean their plate the moment whisker stress is removed. Mistake 8. The scratching post fail. A tiny, carpeted post tucked in a corner looks like it should work. It's often the reason your couch doesn't survive. Cats need to fully extend their spine when scratching, which means the post should be at least 1.5 times their length. Anything shorter is functionally useless to them. Location and material matter too. Cats mark territory at entrances and near sleeping areas, and carpet-covered posts can accidentally teach your carpet is fair game. Fix, tall, sturdy, sisal rope posts placed at key territorial spots, not hidden away where they're easy to ignore. Mistake 9. Wait time bomb. An always full bowl feels generous. For an indoor cat, it can become one of the most damaging habits in the house. Indoor cats don't self-regulate the way hunting outdoor cats do. Constant access to food is strongly linked to obesity, and just 2 extra pounds on a cat is roughly equivalent to 30 extra pounds on a person. The downstream effects are serious: diabetes, arthritis, fatty liver disease, and a shortened lifespan. Fix, switch to 2 or 3 measured, scheduled meals a day. There may be some complaining at first. It's worth it. Mistake 10. The cleaning chemical catastrophe. A spotless floor feels like good pet care. Depending on what you're cleaning with, it can work against you. Phenol-based cleaners, pine oil products, disinfectants, bleach leave residue cats walk through and later lick off their paws while grooming. Their liver isn't built to process these compounds efficiently. Drooling, vomiting, or lethargy after a deep clean isn't a coincidence. Fix, switch to enzyme cleaners or diluted vinegar solutions, and be cautious with air fresheners, carpet powders, and dryer sheets near their bedding. Mistake 11. The social isolation sentence. Cats are independent is one of the most repeated things people say about them. In the wild, cats form loose social colonies. A single cat left alone for long stretches can experience genuine chronic loneliness, which often shows up as depression, destructive behavior, or stress-related illness. Mid-roll CTA number 2. If you're finding this useful, subscribing helps this channel reach more owners who actually want to understand their cat's needs. Fix, minimum 30 minutes of real, engaged interaction daily. Play, grooming, conversation. Puzzle feeders and window activity help fill the gaps, but they don't replace you. Mistake 12. The treat addiction trap. Treats feel like love in edible form. In excess, they function more like junk food than affection.
Most commercial treats are engineered for palatability, not nutrition, high in calories and carbohydrates. Just 10 extra treats a day can add up to roughly 15% yearly weight gain. Treats should stay under 10% of daily calories, often just 4 or 5 small pieces, far less than most owners give. Fix: single-ingredient freeze-dried meat, or use their regular kibble as a treat substitute. Mistake 13, the ignored dental disaster. By age 3, roughly 70% of cats have some form of periodontal disease, and most owners have no idea. Because cats instinctively hide pain, an abscessed tooth can go unnoticed for months. They'll keep eating because hunger outweighs pain in their survival calculus. Left untreated, oral bacteria can enter the bloodstream and affect the heart, kidneys, and liver. Fix: start brushing regularly, offer dental treats, and schedule professional cleanings. Persistent bad breath is a symptom, not just an odor. Mistake 14, the temperature torture. Your comfortable 72 degrees might be genuinely uncomfortable for your cat. Cats' preferred temperature range runs closer to 80 to 85 degrees F, tracing back to their desert ancestry. At standard room temperature, they burn extra calories just staying warm, which is why they chase sunbeams, warm electronics, and blanket piles. Seniors and kittens are especially vulnerable to cold-related stress. Fix: heated beds, warm blankets, and one consistently warmer room in the house. Small comfort adjustments with real impact. Mistake 15, the routine chaos. Feeding whenever you remember seems harmless. To a creature of habit, it can be a real source of stress. Cats' internal clocks are remarkably precise. A schedule that drifts by even 20 minutes can register as a small but real disruption, especially over time. Fix: consistent feeding and playtimes, ideally at the same hour daily. Predictability, more than any toy or treat, is what tells your cat the world is safe. Mistake 16, the hiding spot shortage. An open, minimalist home looks beautiful to us. To a cat, too much open space can feel like exposure with nowhere to retreat. Cats rely on hiding spots to regulate stress. Without them, cortisol can stay elevated far longer than it should, contributing to anxiety and behavioral issues over time. Fix: boxes, cat caves, open closets, under-bed access, ideally at least one option per room. Mistake 17, the grass deprivation. A cat nibbling plant houses isn't being naughty. They're usually looking for something you haven't provided. Grass supports digestion and helps clear hairballs, and without it, cats may turn to whatever greenery is available, including toxic options like lilies, philodendrons, and pothos, some of which can cause serious harm in small amounts. Fix: grow cat grass at home and rotate it weekly. It's a small addition that removes a real risk. Mistake 18, the sunlight starvation. Sunbathing in a window looks like enough sun exposure. It isn't quite what it seems. Window glass blocks nearly all UVB rays, which cats need to synthesize vitamin D through their skin. Long-term deficiency has been linked to muscle weakness and broader health issues. Fix: safe supervised outdoor time, a secure enclosure, or a UVB-specific pet lamp. Regular UV lamps aren't a safe substitute. Mistake 19, the collar catastrophe. A bell on the collar feels like a helpful, cute addition. For a stealth-oriented species, constant noise tied to every movement can be genuinely stressful. Non-breakaway collars also carry real strangulation risk indoors, especially around furniture, vents, or during grooming. Fix: if identification is the goal, microchipping is the safer route. A breakaway collar without a bell is the safer middle ground if a collar is still wanted. Mistake: the plastic bag death trap. Shopping bags left on the floor look harmless. Emergency vets see the alternative outcome more often than you'd expect. The crinkly sound and texture mimic prey, drawing cats in, but a head caught in a handle can panic escalate into suffocation within minutes. Fix: store bags immediately after use, cut handles before disposal, and favor cloth bags where possible. Mistake 21, the midnight feeding manipulation. A 4 a.m. wake-up call for food feels like hunger. Often it's a routine you accidentally trained. If a cat learns that waking you leads to food, that pattern reinforces itself quickly. This isn't manipulation in a malicious sense, just simple learned behavior. Fix: an automatic feeder for early hours, paired with consistently not responding to the behavior directly. It may briefly get louder before it improves. Mistake 22, the flea prevention delusion. My indoor cat doesn't need flea prevention is one of the riskiest assumptions on this list. Fleas hitchhike in on shoes, bags, and visiting pets. A single flea population can expand rapidly, and by the time you spot one, there are often far more hidden in fabric and carpet. Fix: year-round monthly prevention, even for strictly indoor cats. It's far easier than treating an established infestation. Mistake 23, the attention-seeking punishment. Ignoring meows, paws, or toy dropping because you're busy feels neutral. Repeated over time, it can register as rejection. Cats form real attachment bonds, and consistent unresponsiveness can lead to withdrawal or reduced trust over time. If you've made it this far, you clearly care. Subscribing helps this channel keep making guides like this one. Fix: a quick acknowledgement, a word, a glance, a brief pet, even mid-task, keeps the connection intact without requiring a full stop. Mistake 24, the medicine application disaster. Using dog, flea, or tick medicine on a cat to save money is one of the most dangerous mistakes on this entire list. Permethrin, common in many dog products, is a neurotoxin to cats. Even secondhand exposure from grooming a dog treated can be fatal. Fix: only ever use cat-specific products, read every label carefully, and never assume pet safe applies across species. Mistake 25, the laser pointer problem. A laser pointer looks like great exercise. The issue is what it leaves out. The hunting sequence, stalk, chase, catch, never actually completes, since there's nothing physical to catch. Repeated over time, that can build frustration rather than satisfaction. Fix: end every laser session by redirecting to a physical toy they can actually catch and hold, or skip the laser entirely in favor of wand toys. Mistake 26, the furniture polish poison. Shiny, polished furniture seems like simple upkeep. Some polishes and wood treatments off-gas compounds that are genuinely harsh on a small animal's respiratory system. Cats groom constantly, so surface residue often ends up ingested, not just inhaled. Fix: mineral oil or plain olive oil for wood care, and skip unnecessary polishing altogether where possible. Mistake 27, the nightlight disruption. Leaving a light on for your cat at night is well-intentioned. Cats see remarkably well in low light, and artificial light can interfere with their natural rest-activity rhythm. Fix: trust the darkness. A consistently dark sleep environment supports better rest cycles than a lit one. Mistake 28, the bathroom door panic. Closing the bathroom door feels like basic privacy. To a cat, a closed door can register as a sudden, unexplained barrier in their own territory. The scratching and crying at the door isn't drama. It's a stress response to sudden separation from their anchor point. Fix: leave the door cracked when possible, or install a small cat door. Small accommodation, real reduction in stress. 28 mistakes. If you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, that's a good sign. It means you care. Here's the encouraging part. Every single one of these is fixable starting today. If you only do 5 things, start here. Move the water bowl, add a litter box, clear out toxic cleaners and diffusers, set a feeding schedule, and add vertical space. Those 5 alone can change your cat's day-to-day life within a week. Your cat has no other advocate, no way to explain what hurts, what's missing, what needs to change. You're it. The question isn't whether you'll make changes, it's how many of these you'll fix today, while it's still easy to make things right.